Buongiorno. My name is Bruce Smith. I'm 71 years old. I was born in 1949. In fact, tomorrow, September 27th, is my birthday. I'll be 71. And I live alone in Eatonville, Washington. And my mother is 96 and lives in New York, where she has her entire life, or certainly her entire adult life. And something unusual has occurred that I think may be of interest to you and to your audiences. My mother, for a variety of reasons, primarily because of her frailty and her failing health, she can barely walk and lives at home with a full-time caregiver. But because of COVID, very few people come over, and she hardly ever goes out. And so my weekly phone calls to her have become increasingly important. And for the first time in my life, I'm having a relationship with my mother that is satisfying. We have conversations, we talk for hours on the phone. And my sister is part of it. The days that I speak with my mom are days that my sister can be with her. My sister lives about 25 miles away in Brooklyn, New York, and comes out to take care of mom, see how things are going, make sure the repairs and maintenance on the house are okay, and to give the caregivers a break. And so my sister, who is younger than me by a few years, and my mother and I have these three-way kinds of conversations that are really unique to us. My mother has a lot of difficulty hearing, and her cognitive skills are significantly impaired. So I need my sister to help explain what I'm saying and to clarify the context and the meaning of a lot of what I'm saying. So I need my sister to be part of this conversation. And my sister, in turn, is thriving too, because this gives her a platform to talk about what's going on in her life. Because of COVID, she has been basically cooped up in Brooklyn for the last 6 months too. So this is an opportunity for her to really blossom and to socialize. And these hours we spend on the phone are important to each of us. And we all look forward to them. And when I hang up the phone, I feel lost. It's an existential loneliness that I have never experienced before. So I think it may make for good TV. My mother, surprisingly, is up for it. She doesn't really know what reality TV is, and I haven't really explained to her that there's going to be cameras in the house or anything like that. And I don't want to get her upset needlessly. As for putting cameras in my house, it ain't going to take many because I live in a small place. I live in an RV trailer, and I'll move the camera. It's 16 feet long, so it's pretty cozy. So at the end, that red thing in the middle of my pillows, that's my little bunk place. That's where I sleep. You can see a little kitchen area, pots and pans and all that. Bathroom is right behind me. And outside is where I do most of my cooking. And there's a refrigerator and a barbecue and all of that. And I have lived here for the last 19 years. It allows me to maintain a lifestyle of being an emerging performer. I've done a lot of professional storytelling, done some acting, some singing. Um, I lived in Nashville for a couple of years working on my voice, performing. I've worked as a therapist in a number of psychiatric hospitals. But what I do right now is I write. And I'm the author of D.B. Cooper and the FBI, a case study of America's only unsolved skyjacking. Because I was a newspaper reporter for a number of years, and I got reintroduced to the mystery of D.B. Cooper. And I've also been fascinated with how law enforcement really works, because when you're a newspaper reporter, you really find out that getting the truth out of the system is difficult. So, my mom is in New York. I'm in Washington State. I live 30 miles south of Tacoma. I moved here 30 years ago to study full-time at Ramtha School of Enlightenment in nearby Yelm, Washington. I'm no longer a full-time student there, but I stay here because I enjoy being in the environment of like-minded, spiritual focused folks. I live on 6 acres. I rent this little trailer. The couple people that I live with own the place, and I've known them for 20 years plus, and we get along okay. They're not going to want to be part of this show, so you got me, and you got mom, and that's about it. A typical day. I get up around noon. I meditate for about an hour. And it takes me a while to kind of get into the day. A couple cups of coffee, some yogurt, take my meds. And somewhere by the middle of my afternoon, 3 o'clock or so, I will address whatever the issue is that's confronting me in terms of writing, either something new that I'm addressing, politics, something like that. I have an online news magazine called the Mountain News WA, W-A, that I have written hundreds and hundreds of articles for. I'm currently editing the 3rd edition of my D.B. Cooper book, and that is really my primary focus at this time. And I also have other books that I'm developing and seeking publishers and things like that. And certainly being on Spiedlife would help give me some exposure in that regard and facilitate, hopefully, getting published and marketed and all the promotion in terms of that. I go grocery shopping a couple times a week. One day is a big shopping day, and it takes me a while to get there and put on the mask, and it's a little bit of a drive, and it takes all afternoon basically for me to do my big shopping. Whereas my little local store, I can just run down there and pick some bread up or some hamburger, whatever, come home for dinner. It's fine. I eat about 8 o'clock, start cooking at least, and around 9 or 10 o'clock, I'll settle in to start watching Netflix, Hulu, uh, Amazon Stream, all the streaming services. I don't get much TV in the traditional sense of catching the news and all that. So I watch a lot of the streaming services, and I love the spy stuff and the dramas, police procedurals like Homeland, Person of Interest, uh, Bosch, Berlin Station, all great stuff. Love them all. And in terms of why I'm auditioning, 2 main reasons. One is I enjoy performing. I am an actor. And this is an opportunity, so I'm seizing it. I would love to practice my Italian. I took 3 years of Italian in college. Don't speak very well, but I love it. Best, what I basically can say is, molto bene. That's it. Okay. But my relationship with my mom is unique. It's unique to me. It's special. It's endearing. It's powerful in a very subtle way. I think it would make for good TV, or the potential is there. Not sure that mom can pull it off, but we'll see. And it's a little risky because my mom and I haven't gotten along very well most of our lives. We kind of fight all the time. I find her very judgmental, very controlling. And that's why these conversations are so blessed, so meaningful, because it's really the first time ever that we're having these conversations. So that's my story. Grazie mille.